friendship built from outside the house, and we would see videos and pictures and Insta stories and tweets about the excitement with this. There was even a trip, and then we heard that there was an unfollowing that happened. So let me come to you, Prince, about Dorothy. How did we get to what's it called, Prido? Right?
Yeah.
Aha. At what point did we get to the? Because Kenya happened. I'm sure we all saw the elephants and the giraffes. Kissing them and all of that. What? And then a few days later, we're hearing unfollowed, and I'm seeing all sorts of theories online. And this was what looked like an interesting friendship. People were trying to shape. People thought it was a great friendship, and then we got to this point where an unfollowing happened on both sides. So, Prince, help us understand what happened there.
It was, everything was good between Dora and I. It was
that.
Up until a certain day we had a conversation, and the conversation didn't end so well. And she ended the call, and I thought it was I'll talk to you later or something like that, or she didn't feel like continuing the conversation at that point. And literally 10 minutes after the call was ended, I get a call. My phone starts buzzing up to notification. It wasn't even up to 10 minutes. It was less than that. It was like, oh, she is blocked me. I was like, okay, cool. Then I went on Twitter, on WhatsApp, sent her a message, it didn't deliver. I'm blocked there too. I tried to call her number, it wasn't going. I'm blocked there too. Tried Snapchat, I'm blocked there too. Twitter, I'm blocked there too. I was like, oh, okay. I'd rather...
So you're saying since then you haven't had any contact with her?
Oh, I've tried to reach out to her.
No, trying is different from actually having contact.
Now she hasn't. We haven't. Okay, yeah, we actually did. She unblocked me at some point on WhatsApp, and after I had tried to contact her in different ways, actually contacted her in different ways because I wrote and I got someone to, because there was no other way for me. I used my brother's number to call or message, and she read it and blocked him. I wrote to her. I literally...
Are you trying to apologize for something?
I was apologizing and explaining
what... Did you screw up, which is why she's blocking you?
Yeah, kind of, I did screw up.
Dorothy. So there's so many theories, and I don't want to be the one to mention names, because certain names came up. Certain theories, like I've said, came up. Certain housemates' names were mentioned in whatever brought this to this situation. I don't want to put anything out there, so I just want to give you the opportunity, because he has admitted he screwed up. He has also said you did all the blocking, so you are offended, obviously. What got you that upset? Because it was literally from probably 1,000 to 0. Because Kenya looked beautiful.
I felt like he was manipulative, and as my friend, he didn't have my back.
I mean, manipulative in what way?
He wasn't sincere. It was almost like I was the only sincere person in the friendship, basically.
What role did Tolani Badge play in this?
Well, the conversation he's talking about was one that was very shocked about, because we came out of the house and yeah, we were friends in the house and we were always around each other. Out of the house, I didn't expect that 100% because he was with Tolani in the house. She tried to hit on Neil. There was like a little issue. And I remember telling him in the house, don't judge her yet. Get out. Figure it out. So I expected that continuity. Oh, they've seen each other, they've been out, they figure it out. So I come out the house and he was literally there 24/7.
There for you?
Literally.
Okay.
He He was like the best friend at that time. And I remember asking him a couple of times, how far T-Badge? Where you guys at? He's like, oh, she doesn't want friendship. She says she doesn't want friendship, and it is what it is. He doesn't like to talk a lot about other people. That's one thing about him, even to me. And I'm like, okay. I didn't have such strong friendship with Tolani Badge. I had a strong friendship with Prince. I will follow what Prince has said to me. And I remember we even took a picture at the protest.
Who are we now?
Myself and Tolani Badge. And everything was cool until after my birthday. I don't you?
I don't with you either, girl.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know that.
100.
Okay.
And after my birthday, there was just so much sob from Tolani. So much. I mean, she had like, most of the back and forth she had were with the fans. I mean, I never reacted because she never mentioned my name. And that was like, until today, I'm in my head, I'm like, thank I never reacted, because I'll come here, sit here, and look stupid. And all of that happened. Fast forward to this conversation that he's talking about. And he was like, okay, Tolani keeps coming at me. Tolani keeps bashing me, telling people different things about me, blah, blah, blah. The only regret I had is being intimate with Tolani. And I'm like, wait. Pause. Let's go back a minute. What did you just say? And he repeated it. And I'm like, you didn't fail to let me know that you had a situation with this girl when you came out of the house. So firstly, I asked you severally, and you're not sincere. You felt the need to not tell me about it. And she's on her side. I mean, you coming at me, I felt like that was wrong on every level.
Coming at your fans that come from me every day, unprovoked.
Okay. And that's why I just said that I never responded to her because she never mentioned my name. Her war was with the fans. So I never got involved at all. And I'm like, there's that back and forth, because in as much as you claim that you have like the back and forth with my fans, it hits me. I was on blog. There was a post on one of her fan page. I was called like a husband snatcher. My mom saw that post. And all this while, I'm like, what is wrong with Tolani? And I remember I asked him to. I'm like, why is this girl making so much fuss about me? Like, what's going on? What's going on with you guys? Like, let me know. And then he never said anything. And I'm like, okay, so you put me through that. You firstly call yourself my friend. And you put me through all of that. I don't think there's anything letting me know. You didn't let me decide whether to be in the Prido, blah blah. You didn't give me the opportunity to decide whether I want to reach out to Tolani or have that conversation. I was blinded. I was locked out. And then you even want to tell me about it. You decide to put it on me a few weeks before the reunion. Let's imagine Prince didn't say it to me. And I come here and I sit down and she comes at me. And my edges drop. I look stupid. And I'm very, what word should I use? What word should I use? I'm an extremist. I'm never in the middle. If I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not there, I'm not there. All this while in my head, you have lied to me. You made me feel like this girl is a mad person. Just because of you. Because aside Prince, have I ever had any issue with you?
We've never had a conversation, really. No vibe, no nothing. So
Exactly.
yeah.
One of I'm not going to be a part of your mess. Please let me finish.
Hurry up, girl. You're taking too much time.
But you will let me finish, right?
Hurry up.
I would finish.
Hurry up.
Okay, darling. I'm not going to be a part of your so I'm going to take myself out. And that was it. And that's about all I have to say, by the way.
I have two questions. First of all, because when we hear all of these monikers of names being put together, Prido sounded like a sheep to a lot of people, and fortunately, unfortunately, it's very tough for a lot of people to see a guy and a girl be that close and take trips and have moments and all of that. So for a lot of people, it was much more than that. And listening to this now, I see where you're coming from, but I also wonder, if it was just a friendship, because you liked Prince in the house and you said that, and it's something you've admitted, other things, other events overtook the situation. So for me here now, sitting and hearing, is it a case of it was much more than a friendship, or you wanted more than that, and this wasn't what happened with Tony Badge's story? How it was going to make you? Because if it's a friendship, when emotions are not that involved, in my head, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Guy,
Well,
why you mess
when-
up? But when emotions are involved, it looks like it's a community.
Not when the public is involved. Not when the public is involved. If it was a thing of Prince and Dorothy, I wouldn't react. I mean, I could care less.
Yeah.
But there is a Prido. Was past tense. And there was that. And obviously they're involved. Don't blindside me like that. Don't do that.
You want to say something?
Okay, first of all, this whole Prido thing, I really thought it was just clout chasing. I really thought Prince just wanted to reach 1 million followers before everybody. Well, we all realized that he bought followers and he's still stuck at 929k followers. Anyway, I never knew that Dorothy liked Prince in the house to begin with. I can agree with Dorothy, saying that Prince is manipulative. He doesn't speak much. He doesn't communicate at all, to be fair. So you never really know what's in his mind. So the whole Prido thing, I felt like it was very disrespectful to me, especially from the fans. Like, I could be doing the most random thing ever. I'll just receive a tweet, T-Badge in the mud. T-Badge never made Prince happy the way Dorothy is making him happy. Constantly tweets like that. It's like, why do you have to insert my name in this Prido thing, knowing that I've tried to remove myself from this equation? Every day, T-Badge has never been to Kenya before. Prido is in Kenya. Prido is in Africa. Prido is doing this. So that right there just made me so mad. And I really thought you knew about it. Unfortunately not.
And that's
then,
exactly what I'm saying.
Another thing where I lost respect for Prince was where I caught him and Lilo kissing at the back of a bus, the Saturday night party, which I felt like was very disrespectful because you did it right in front of me.
Sorry, hold up.
But it's a lot.
You can't just drop certain things.
I'm jumping it.
Which Saturday night party is this?
The
In
last
the house?
all-white party finale when we went back to the house.
Why did we do this party?
It was very white. He kissed her right
The white
in
party-
front of me
we
in
did
the
The
bus.
white party,
Yes,
just before the finale.
the finale, all-white
What
party.
happened?
Don't mean
We were all intoxicated on our way back to the hotel. Both of them sat at the back of the bus and I sat like right in front of them, only for me to look back and they're making love, Kissing, not sexual, no. Kissing, no. Kissing, no. Kissing, no. Don't take it there. Kissing. And I felt disrespected that I had to get out the bus. I told the driver to stop. I left. And this was a conversation that we never truly had. I don't have closure. All he kept on saying was, Lilo was drunk. He didn't want to kiss her, but she kissed him. So from there, I'm just like, this guy is a playboy. This guy will do, by all means, do anything to get forward in life. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes you gotta be patient. You don't have to buy followers, my dear, to try to reach 1 million followers, which is very embarrassing because I rated you higher than that. And I regret being in the entanglement with Prince. I'm saying that 1,000 times over and over again.
Let's focus on over here. First of all, when this thing you're talking about happened,
Yeah.
where were you guys?
We just got out of the house.
Just been out of the house.
We just got out of the
you have been out
house.
for about 2 weeks.
We just got out of the house. We
you guys in it?
never defined our situationship, but the masses knew that T-Badge and Tolani were still together. There was still a pre-badge.
T-Badge and Prince, you mean?
T-Badge and Prince, I'm sorry. Dorothy was still in the house at the time. So me seeing him do that, just like, it was a slap in my face. Like, if a guy that I like can do this
So you
to
guys
me,
are still trying to work things out?
yes, we're still trying to work things out. So from there, I'm just like, I don't rate this guy again.
Also, she says something about intimacy, which was what got her.
Oh, that's accurate. That's true.
Had this happened before this?
I don't remember. Answer now. Talk. Okay, that happened before then.
So
But still,
before this happened.
I guess so. But the kissing shot still happened. The intimacy happened because I was feeling Prince at the time, and I 100% regret it. And it was whack, by the way. I really expected more from somebody that carries shoulder like this. You should have impressed me, but you didn't.
Okay, quickly before we get back to what is a lost woman.
Yeah.
Your issue with her fans.
Yeah.
Did you see how it would have come off as an issue with her? Because I know I saw a lot of those tweets as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, team, what was it? You said husband snatcher. There were a lot of those insinuations that made it look like she took your man. It didn't look like an attack to her fans. It
There
looked
was
like
a
an
shark
attack
picture
to
too.
her, even though you were responding to her fans. Did you see how that looked?
It was a way for me to shut them up, that they can't bully me.
But you didn't feel like it would
Hold
hurt
on,
me in the
I'm
process.
not done speaking, please. Let me talk, okay? I didn't feel how it was going to reach her directly, but I knew that they were going to deliver the message. Them calling you a husband snatcher, at the time it was true because you didn't know what was going on between me and Prince. At the end of the
Well,
day,
did you miss
I
the
think
part
the
where I
underlying
said-
factor here is
Did you
Prince.
miss
I really
the
don't want to
part-
have this conversation with you right now. It's Ebuka I'm talking to, so shh. zip
You're not
it.
going to shush me.
Then keep your mouth shut.
I'm not your pet. You're not going to shush
Then
me.
you're not going to
telling
speak to me.
that.
I'm speaking to Ebuka, okay?
Were you
Dorothy,
deaf when
were
I
you
said-
deaf?
I continuously asked Prince.
And I said he's the underlying factor. That's what I said. You too.
So it comes back to my question, which I kept asking Katrina. Why was it not an option to reach out to the person you think you have an issue with to say, babe, caution your fans, what the hell is going on? Why is that never the first thing that comes to mind for you guys? I never get it. Why did you not think of that?
Because I never had a relationship with her in the house. We never spoke, we never did nothing. Energy there was off. I actually thought she was very pretentious. She did a lot of things for the camera, literally. So when I see the right thing, I'm just okay, she's just there. Conversations were kind of awkward. She tried to have top five. I'm still making money too. So what the fuck you talking about? I'm still making money too, okay? So zip it. And I'm famous too. Anyway, back to your question. I just didn't care for the relationship. I didn't see her in my life. I didn't want her to be in my life. I don't care for her and I don't rate you. Top 5, okay, that's it. And I think you're overhyped.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is
So
three
I still
endorsements.
want to ask, did you think
If you want to speak to me,
You want to fight?
I actually requested down.
If you want to fight.
No. I'm not fighting you. I can't hear her clearly from there.
You can hear me. I'm crazy.
Which is why I want to ask this.
I'm
Sit down,
crazy
sit down.
too.
Everybody,
Don't put a chair for your animal children.
Just
Do not.
just sit down.
I'm
just sit
not
down.
going to touch
My shoes are
her.
off.
You should stay on
My
your
shoes are off and I'm ready.
Girl, sit down. I just want to hear her clearly.
Don't.
So this, I still ask the same question.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Did you see how it looked like an attack at her?
I didn't care for her. That's
didn't
it.
care.
I didn't care. That's it.
Okay.
And I still don't care.
I think it's clear how you guys feel about each
Yeah.
other. Lilo, I just suddenly heard your name inside this conversation, and it's quite interesting. I feel like we need to. What my ambition after this reunion is to go and watch the Saturday party. From beginning to end. That's a whole other conversation. It's so interesting how so many things happened that day after that day and all of that. What was that about?
I came out of the house first, obviously.
Yeah. Cost like what, 10K?
Huh?
No, she was talking about shoes.
Okay. And Prince and I have been talking.
Coming from a beggar.
Saturday party came, everyone partied, of course. I was drunk, and he was in the bus, and he was like, oh, come sit with me. So, of course, I sat next to him. And the funny thing is, that night, Tolani was actually there. I think Eric was also sitting next to him. And I actually, he was holding me, so I kissed him. And he's like, oh, you little stop, you're drunk, don't do that.
Who said that?
Prince. It didn't even last 5 seconds, literally, because he actually...
5 seconds.
Because he actually stopped me. So, and I'm going to say something as well. So, before reunion, Prince called me. He's like, yo, Lilo, your reunion is coming. Tell him I talk about this. I want to tell Dora. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, cool, tell Dora. And I didn't even think about it that way, like, okay, why does one want to tell Dora? But Dora is my friend. I'm like, tell her, like, I had nothing to hide. They're not dating. And Dora is my friend. And I will tell her as well. So I'm like, tell Dora. And he's like, okay, cool. So I don't know what happened between both of them. So Dora and I were hanging out. And I just told her, like, yo, did Prince tell you what happened? And she's like, oh, yeah, he told me. But whatever happened between all three of them. And I'm like, oh, did what I wanted to tell you was that me and him kissed on Saturday night party, and he wanted to tell you, but I didn't have a problem with him telling you. And she's like, huh? You and Prince kissed? I'm like, oh, he hasn't told you. So apparently she didn't even know mine. So they had thought about Tolani before it got to him telling her about me. So, you know, she flew up that night and she left. But before she left, she was like, yo, Lilo, I'm going to do something, it might hurt you. I'm like, Dora, just calm down, like, just listen to what happened. I'm not, in my defense, I was trying to say, you're not out of the house yet when it happened, 1. 2, I know, like, I would always ask Dora and Prince, are you guys dating? They're like, no, they're not dating. And Dora is meant to be my best friend. So when the whole thing happened and I told Dorothy, and the way she reacted, I definitely knew something was up.
Which is what I was trying to say. Right, because
people react differently.
Yeah.
No, leave me be.
And then she's like, she feels used, the whole cloud thing, and I was just trying to calm her down. So that night, Dora just left. And the day after we went to the club, there was already a blog about Dorothy, Lilo, Prince. And I'm just like, I confided in my friend, I'm out on the blogs. I felt like I shouldn't be in there. Yeah, I was even put in there
too.
You were there?
Yes.
And I'm just like, I shouldn't be in there. That really did hurt me because I'm trying to get over the whole Big Brother situation. So I don't want to be tagged with a man. I have work to do. I'm trying to chase money. So don't tag me with a man. So it really did hurt me. So I just didn't say anything about the whole situation.
let's come to 1:30. Your body's scratching you seriously.
Like, and I think I should move from this seat first.
Let me have my seats. Have my seats.
No, I'm fine here.
Yeah, you need to, you actually just be where you are.
Okay. Dorothy, I want to commend you for how you handle your emotions because I didn't know Jack. Till like 2 days ago that you guys were actually, I thought it was friendship for Prido. And that's why when
You didn't know
Tiba
Jack what, sorry?
that there was something more than friendship.
Oh,
There's nothing.
Anyway, I must commend you for your emotions. So now, there was, first off, I don't know if this whole thing, because anytime I think about Prince, I think about how in the house Nengi rejected you. And it's like, okay, the person I like rejected me, so I can just act anyhow with, that's how I'm saying it now. I can just act anyhow with Lilo, with this person, with that person. And that's very unfair, to be honest.
This is what I didn't want to be
because
proud.
now we leave the house, and Tibach told me about the whole Lilo situation. And I'm like, I was just consoling her, I just let it go, because she actually really liked Prince.
I didn't know till today, till now. I didn't know anything intimate happened between you guys. So I'm like,
You don't
okay.
mean it.
So now that I'm seeing that,
We're
okay,
using
she
a safe
went.
word now, internet.
We want to keep it. We want to keep it classy.
enough.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I didn't know anything happened, T-Badge. I don't know why you didn't tell me, but okay.
It wasn't that sweet, so it wasn't necessary.
So anyway, now that I'm hearing from
Just keep going.
Dorothy, I know this whole thing happened when he gave Dora flowers on her birthday. And I'm like, it's just flowers. And I really pissed her off that day because she's like, why would I say it's just flowers? And still, I'm like, okay, nothing is going on here. So now I'm realizing, okay, something is going on. And it's quite unfair that you put two people in this whole drama. And then you just, like, I don't get it. It's like playing this person, you're doing this with that person, you're doing this other thing with that person. And then T-Badge is just in the middle of everything. And T-Badge has her own way of handling these things. And I think it was quite unfair.
So even up until her birthday, you guys were still...
The night before her birthday itself, he called me, we had a nice conversation. The conversation was sweet, but I knew he was about to do something funny the next day. The next day, he went to go and serenade Dorothy for her birthday, doing Mr. Romantic, doing blah, 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 blah. And that pissed me off.
When was your own birthday?
October 20th.
Before hers.
Before her.
Did you get flowers?
I didn't get That's another thing that pissed me off. Where are my flowers?
Did you think something was going on between them?
Eventually, yes. Not
How so?
because of this whole Prido thing and the comments I should be making on Prince's post, like, let know that I can't put it word for word, but basically just flirting back in his comment section. You know, Prince will go and comment and flirt back. So that was where I was like, okay, maybe something is really going on. But the fans played a huge part of it, and then I just, assumed like, okay, this has to be more than friendship here.
Can I?
Prince, over to you.
It's okay how they both have opinions about me. It's fine, everybody is entitled to their opinion, but I only say my truth based on how everything happened. And it's actually, I love your consistency with trying to insinuate that Nengi rejected me. We had already established that I was already walking away from that situation. And since you have chosen to believe what you want to believe, it's okay. And like I said before, I wouldn't spend so much time addressing irrelevant people. Everybody knew how the situation was when suddenly left the house, the whole new thing that was brought up and everything. I was sad that she left and still confused about what the hell was going on. You get so, but then she said, Dora said, don't conclude yet. Come out of the house, have a conversation with this person. If you really cared about her, have a conversation with her and try to figure stuff out. And also Erica, who was the person that she supposedly had the conversation with, met me and was like, oh, it's not really how it is, this. And I was like, oh, it's fine, I get it. When I come off the house, I'm going to speak to this person. And I remember you asked me a question on stage and I said, oh, we will have to meet this person and we'll have that conversation. So I come out, I'm out of the house now. A lot of people are calling me, telling me stuff. Oh, this girl wasn't loyal to you, this, playing clips of the diary session where I had her back in the diary session, she didn't have my back, and a whole lot of scenarios and all of that. And then with the whole new thing, so just a whole bunch of stuff that was going on in my mind as at that time. Then I come out, she meets me the very first. Once we got to the hotel, she runs up to me and she kisses me. I'm like, oh, okay, chill. And I didn't even know that someone was filming before I could even get to my phone. That video was online. Everybody was already saying, oh, the video of Tolani and I kissing was already online. Everybody was already saying, oh, they're back together. And that was me just meeting her for the first time. So I get in the house. Everybody, my entire team didn't want me to have anything to do with Tolani. They were like, this, she's not loyal to you. This one, there's a new issue. There was a whole lot of scenarios. But I was like, no, I like this girl. She's my friend. I mean, even if she had eyes for New, I still want to be able to have that conversation with her. And if we have that conversation and we decide to go different ways, it's cool. But it's not going to make me stop speaking to her. She's still going to be my friend. So we eventually have that conversation. And I told her, do you know what? It's fine. I don't want to be in any relationships. Let's just be friends. Okay? We're going to, and this was even before I knew there was any pre-do, pre-badge, anything. Because my family, people who know me know that I don't really pay attention to social media. My fans literally beg me to post or tweet about stuff. I stay days without tweeting. I don't pay so much attention to social media. So there are stuff that happen and I'm oblivious about them. So I was like, I told her, we had the conversation, I said...
When did you have this conversation?
This was like a couple of days...
After I came out
of the house. Okay, I told her, okay, let's just be friends and everything. There's no much... we don't need to be in a relationship. Let's just be friends, okay? Then we're friends. I'm still having my media rounds and everything. And eventually, we got intimate. And there was never a time after the intimacy stuff that we said, what are we now? That conversation never happened. We didn't say, oh, we are this now, we're this now. It's still, we're just friends. Two adults did something and they moved on from it. And we're friends. And I was still cool with Tolani, regardless of everything people used to tell me. I used to get DMs from people, different people I didn't know, telling me, cut this person off, this is it. They had nothing good to say about her, but I didn't care. I was like, I'm cool with her, I don't have to pick people's opinion. Let's just keep it that way. And henceforth, when we go, because prior to that time, when I go on interviews and they ask me about Tolani, I'm like, oh, we're still working it out. I'm like, henceforth, when we go on interviews, say we're just friends, so that everybody just moves on with their life. You get? I did that, she never did that. She still used to go on her Instagram lives and stuff and say, oh, welcome all my pre-batch followers, this, saying pre-batch stuff and all of that. And I remember I used to call her and I'd be like, there's no pre-batch.
Now you're lying.
Don't do that.
Now you're lying.
There's nothing like pre-batch.
Now you're lying.
There's nothing like pre-batch. We don't have to tell people. And she did something where to me, it felt like she was going to set me up and all of that. Then she said about the whole birthday gift thingy. I asked her, I don't really know how to give gifts. What do you want? And she asked for ₦1 million.
Oh.
The point is, you clearly stated to her that there was nothing else.
There was no relationship.
Okay. Let's get to this before we get to Dora.
Okay, yeah. After the party, we were in the bus. Everybody was drunk except me. I always say I'm the sober friend. I don't drink that much. We were in the bus. We're seated because the bus is almost full. So the only space was left was beside me. We were seated. We were talking. Then she kissed me. I was like, oh no, Milo. No, I know you're drunk. So that it doesn't come out tomorrow and they're like, oh, I took advantage of you, so please. And when we got to, I didn't know that she saw. I just saw that she stood up and she left. Then when we got to the hotel, I came out. I said, Lilo, please sit down, so that because she was kind of tipsy. I said, sit down, let me help get your things and everything. Then she walks up to me. I think she had some of Lilo's stuff and she gave it to me and she walked away. Took Lilo to her room, dropped her, left. It wasn't up to 10 minutes later, Talani came to my room, knocking, and I opened. She was like, oh, what was that all about? This is this. I was like, what was what all about? She was like, I saw you kissing Lilo. Is that who you're with? Now I'm like, first of all, you have no right to ask me who I am with because we're not a thing.
This is lying.
Secondly, if I wanted to have something with Lilo, I would be in her room or she would be here and I would open the damn door for you.
Prince is a liar at this point.
Do you get? So, and then she was like, oh, that she doesn't believe me. I'm like, well, I'm telling you that's what happened. And then she walked away. So that was the whole Lilo thing. So fast forward, the reason why I didn't tell Dora about it, as at the time Dora came out the house, I was still cool with. We were still friends, and Dora was still friends. And knowing who I am, I don't really like discussing my situationships or whatever I do with people when I feel like two adults had something. I don't need to go tell someone else. And as at that time, Dora had just come out of the house. We were still just friends. We had not our friendship had not gotten that deep.
Predo had not started.
Yeah, Predo hasn't started. That's at that time. You get, she had just come out of the house. And this happened before she even came out of the house. So I didn't tell her because I was like, I did this, it was wrong. I felt it was wrong because I didn't want to do it no more. Tolani tried to, have us grow the relationship, but I wasn't having any of it.
Liar.
I wasn't having any of it. I moved on from it.
Liar.
And then Dora comes out. I didn't want to tell her at that time because I felt like it was going to cause some sort of tension between everybody. So I was like, let me just forget about this. So that's what I did. I let it go. And I'm sorry I didn't tell her at that time because probably if I did, all of this wouldn't have happened. Moving on, during Dora's birthday, I go and I make a post for Dora on her birthday.
Was there pressure to make the post as well?
Bought her flowers and everything. And next thing, Tolani comes to my DM and she's ranting.
WhatsApp.
Sorry, my WhatsApp. And she's ranting, what do I take her for? This.
I said you got me up and that was it. And I've not spoken to you since then.
She was like, I got her up. What's the meaning of all of that? I was like, babe, calm down. Use your words. What the hell do you mean by how do I got you and all of that? And I called her, I'm like, and then I called her and she goes about the whole, what's all of that post about Dora and all of that.
I didn't pick up your call. Stop lying. You got me up. It's the last conversation
I was
we had
like,
in November.
first of all, don't talk about Dora in that way. We're not a thing. So I don't need to explain to you whatever I'm doing with Dora or how our relationship is. And I ended the call. That was the last conversation we had. Then she started throwing subs at Dora online, over and over. While she's throwing subs at Dora, she was still posting about the whole pre-back thing. Still, why throwing subs at Dora? Then I saw the whole blog thing that they did where they called Dora husband snatcher, and it really got me pissed off. Then we got to, I think it was Wathoni's book launch, and we sat. One thing that she did at that Wathoni book launch that pissed me off was, we were walking in together, and I intentionally tried to come late to your book launch because I didn't want to meet her.
I didn't want to meet you either.
But I came late, and it actually was when it was starting. Then it was when it was starting. As I was walking in, Wathoni's dad goes, Solani, are you or Prince dating? She could have answered for herself. You were there, right? Yeah. She could have answered for herself. She didn't. She was like, you can ask him.
No answer from me.
And I was like, excuse me, sir. No, we're not dating. Mm-hmm. And I walked away. Then when we got in, we sat down, and I told her, first of all, why didn't you ask her for yourself? Why are you not telling people we're not together? Because people will ask you, are we together? And you will say otherwise, and they will ask me, and I'm looking like a liar. And then she was like, and I was like, first of all, what is all this social media tantrums you're throwing and dragging Dora? And she was like, oh, if I didn't have her all up, she wouldn't be doing that. I was like, have you up? How? Are we dating? We're not together. So then I get a call, and some of my friends were trying to inquire what exactly is going on, because they heard that Tolani and her people are planning to come up with the fact that I had been sleeping with her and we are dating before, and I've been also dating Dora. And I was like, first of all, no, I'm not dating Tolani.
Bro,
that was what
he actually called me to tell me that
that was
your people were good. You were going to talk about this.
That was what I was told.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That was what I was told.
We'll talk about this at the beginning. Yeah.
And I was like, and they were like, oh, that they heard that, oh, Tolani and her people are going to do this, and they've been saying that, oh, I've been sleeping with Tolani all this while, and we are dating. I was like, no, I'm not dating Tolani. And we only had, and coming to think about it now, yes, we only had sex once. And that was it.
So my question still is, what was this relationship, and why is the fact that you had sex with somebody else such a deal breaker for a friendship?
So Dora and I are just friends. We're really close friends. We talk about everything. We talk about any and everything. That is the only thing I think I haven't ever told Dora. And I never lied. So, me hearing all of this, I was used and all of that, for what reason? I've never bought social media followers. I don't care about social media.
Okay.
So the whole cloud chaser thing that they do, I'm not a part of that. I'm not that petty. I'm not about looking a certain way or portraying a particular image on social media. I'm about being that way in real life. So if some other people do it, I don't.
So Tolani, is it true that he clearly told you when he came out of the house that nothing can happen?
We decided not to give an answer. That's what it was. We said if we went for interviews and whatnot, all we would keep saying is we'll decide, we'll know.
Initially, yeah.
Keep quiet, I want to talk to you. That's all we said we'll keep doing.
So at what point did he tell you this?
I don't remember.
I have never regretted any decision in my life. This is the only one I have.
You're my regret too. And I said because yesterday.
It's funny how she is always going out of her way to spite me. She has insulted my family members. She has insulted me. She has insulted everybody around me in different locations. And I have never.
Can I say something?
And I have never.
This is getting so long. Tolani is emotional. She's a woman. Just see that way and let this pass. That's why she's reacting that way. She's in her feelings. You guys had a thing. So let it go.
We didn't date.
Dorothy, very quickly now. So, you guys insist it's a friendship. I don't know that anybody here really believes. Anybody believe it was just a friendship? We show of hands?
I actually thought it was, man. I didn't see it. I think
Okay, so it was just a friendship. So,
yeah, me too.
if he's saying he didn't see, because by the time you were out and when Predo started, intimacy had already happened. Do you see how that didn't need to be told to you?
No, because did you see how all of this just played out and how messy it looks?
Yeah.
So I'm naturally not a messy person. I'm not a pretender. As in, like, I'm actually not a messy person. Everything we sat down here to talk about me, was in the house. Coming out of the house, I've not had any issue with anybody sitting out here. And maybe I should go around and ask everybody. I don't like anything that would put me in a situation where I have to overly defend myself. So when I'm in some kind of friendship or when I am in a situation, I'm always very open. I want to know everything. You're not being playing with me. I took an offense. And then you now feeling, you feel or you felt like you had to tell me because, oh, the reunion is coming. This was even a reunion that we planned to come and laugh at. And what? This was like 2 months before the reunion. When we spoke about the reunion, we're like, oh, all our mean face, we're gonna be laughing all through. We spoke about the reunion before. You didn't think to tell me. So now people are telling you, oh, Tolani will come and say this thing here. And then that's when you feel, okay, don't tell me at all.
So where are you now?
I'm out of the situation and just, I'm living my best life. I don't want to be in any messy.
What about you and Dora?
I mean, Dora's my friend. I still care about her. I still love her to death. You understand? So if she ever feels like, oh, she finds it in her heart to forgive, mind not telling her, because I have always been 100% with Dora.
So you'd love for her to come around?
I've done things for Dora that I've never done for any other person.
Dora, where are you with this? Finally,
talk now.
Okay.
Okay, are you open to him having a conversation with you now?
We've had a conversation.
He says he's tried. Have you had a conversation with him?
We have had a conversation and yeah, we're fine.
Okay. Does it look like Predo is?
No, that's dead. That's very dead.
So do I feel like I need to have a conversation with Erica? No.
It's not in my favor to get insulted every single day.
And the video you made, I promise you I didn't watch it.
Me, I started watching all the videos of you saying rubbish. There was no reason why I should respond because